I'm gay, and Austin is too, and we just wanted to like call and tell you.
That boys or girls? You gay? It's okay, hon. I knew you were. I knew you were, hon. Shush. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, silly. Be sorry. I'm sorry. I love you no matter what in the world. Don't you know that? I just want you to be happy.
And I draw upon your strength and your support in ways that you will never know. And I am here today because I am gay. And because
So, how would it make you feel if I married a man?
If you marry a man, it's going to be so cool. Love is love.
You're so cute. Do you know that? You're absolutely adorable.
That I'm coming to terms not with who I thought I should be, but who the Lord has made me to be. As such, I stand before my family, friends, and graduating class today to say that I am proud to be the gay son of God.
I really feel like I'm at that point now to be able to tell you, and I just want to be able to have you like behind us 100%. Like I just don't want you to like not love us anymore or anything like that.
Stop it. I just don't really know what to say.
Right.
I love you both. That'll never change.
I mean, it just like it doesn't change who we are as a people either. Like I'm the exact same person. Like I just don't want to be able to not feel like I can't call you and talk to you or anything like that. Like I just don't want you to, you know what I mean? Like I still want everything to kind of just be normal. It's just like something that's just...
I'm not broken. I'm loved and important to the plan of our great Creator. Each of us are.
and we deserve to experience love fully, equally, without shame and without compromise.
Don't worry. I love you no matter what.
Good morning, and welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We are so glad to see you today. If you are new to SMUUCh and want to know more about our church, please fill out our Get in Touch form using the link in our video description. Or if you're interested in learning about Unitarian Universalism, please join our Just the Basics class on the second Sunday of October. For all of you joining us live this morning, feel free to start posting your joys and sorrows now, if you would like to have the names be read during the candle lighting. And now, a few announcements from our minister.
Morning. I'm Reverend Rose, the minister here at SMUUCh. It is a joy to see you and an honor to be broadcast into your homes. This morning I have 4 announcements. Firstly, there has been a member survey sent out to you, and it is important to us that you fill it out. We very much want to serve you well during this time, so please make sure to take the time to answer how you are involved, how you'd like to be involved, and how we could better serve you. Secondly, you may know that our theme for this month is deep listening. Deep listening is a practice around hearing in a new way, hearing other people not to fix them, but to accompany them. Now here at SMUUCh, we have a dedicated practice about deep listening, and it takes place in our small groups. These are spaces led by trained facilitators from the congregation where honesty and vulnerability are encouraged and where your vulnerability is followed up with encouragement and support. As we move into this winter, it is extra important that we have positive and meaningful social interactions scheduled into our lives. We are going to have to actually get disciplined about showing up to things even when we aren't feeling our best. So we encourage you to take part in our small groups program. If you are interested, please let me know or email anyone at the church and we can help get you involved for the next groups which are opening in November. And now 2 announcements about worship. First of all, we are coming upon the time of year when we remember those whom we have lost. We normally create a beautiful altar in the front of the sanctuary with photos of those who have died and flowers. But this year, we are instead going to create a slideshow of loved ones who have been lost. I encourage you to do this, even if your loved one has died long ago, to keep their memory alive and remind you of your purpose here on earth. So please email me the photos, and if you don't know how to get a hold of me, just email anyone at the church. And lastly, this is your reminder to get your at-home chalice now, if you have one, to light alongside of us, and that if you have kids in the house, that preparing, lighting, and caring for the chalice can be their responsibility. Together, we are better. Together, we are a courageous church. Together, we are a courageous country, a courageous globe. Today, in our annual Coming Out Day service, where we celebrate National Coming Out Day, we are honoring the LGBTQIA+ community in our lives. Now, before I call us to worship, I'd like to invite us to expand on the idea of coming out a little bit, opening us all up to the idea that there are many ways to come out of our shells, coming out about an experience we've had, an opinion we have, coming out of our depression. Because what this is really about is bravery and trust, both of which are elements that bind the queer community together. So as we gather for worship today, I invite us to set an intention in ourselves to come out a little bit today, be more open to receiving during this hour, turn off that skepticism and turn on the wonder and the gratitude for all the sharing and joy of this hour, and practice deep listening with the reading, the sermon, the stories, and the music. So let us begin with some beautiful breaths. We are here to work on ourselves, here to cultivate love in our hearts, and remember just how huge love can be. So let us dedicate ourselves to spaciousness and openness to being changed. Come, let us worship. Please join us for our second of 4 short videos celebrating coming out, followed by our opening hymn, number 361.
Happy Coming Out Day! I'm Jim Christ.
And I'm Kevin Hobbs.
And I'm happy that I came out because life is so much richer when what's on the inside matches what's on the outside.
And I'm happy that I came out when I did. I was young. I got great support from people that I didn't necessarily expect it. And I also had lack of support from some that I did expect it. But life is so much richer when you live your authentic life.
Coming out is a big deal. And if you're in the process, stay in there. You're not alone.
My name is Colette Poncho. Happy Coming Out Day. I'm glad I came out because now I can live my life honestly and enjoy my lovely legal wife, Melissa, and my family. And I want to encourage you to stay strong and be yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Zal. Happy Coming Out Day. I'm happy I came out because now I can celebrate my life the way it was meant to be celebrated.
Hi, I'm Jane.
And I'm Jill, and we've been together 21 years.
And we're UUs from Long Island, New York. And I've been out since I was a teenager.
And I in my 20s.
And when I was in my early 30s, my partner and I decided to have children, and we had twin boys, but unfortunately she died in a traffic accident when the children were when my twin boys were 3 years old. So I was a single parent, and then when the kids were 9, I was lucky enough to meet Jill.
Yes, and we've been together since then in a blended family.
Right. And I am very proud to be a loving parent, and I feel like we are people in our community and in our congregation respect us as a family and as being loving parents and as being gay people and leaders in the gay community.
And my being a step-parent, I love being an LGBT parent because it shows everybody that we're just like everybody else. In fact, we've made such strides and efforts to have the children in our lives, and we are great parents, just like anyone else. And so it's a lesson for us as well as a lesson for everybody else.
And they're now 30 years old.
They are.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Happy Coming Out Day. I'm glad that I came out because now I can show everybody exactly who I am. And I don't have to hide anymore. And just remember, when it's time for you to come out, when you're ready to come out, just remember this, you're not alone. We'll be there for you.
Enter, rejoice, and come out. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Enter, rejoice, and come out. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come out.
all you need is a candle, a spark, and some sort of special chalice.
And some parental supervision.
Please join me as we light our chalice and affirm that love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another. Prize for you, a special guest here with us today.
Hi, Kaylin.
Hi, Seely.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Well, I just got back from quarantining in the sea, and I'm so excited to see you and all of you.
Well, welcome back to America, Seely.
Thanks. Well, I heard that it was coming out day, and I was just wondering, what does it mean to come out, Kaylin?
It means to come out to your family and friends as being part of the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, what's that community?
It's the community where people are gay.
Oh, what's gay?
Oh. Gay is when you love somebody of a different sex or the same sex, a different gender. It can be meaning that you feel like you were born in the wrong gender, or it can mean experimenting with gender your entire life.
Oh, well, then I think if it means that we love people of the same sex, I think I better tell you that I better come out and say, I love my grandma Octo. Is that it? No. Oh.
Loving somebody that you want to marry. Celia.
Oh, well, I'd love to marry my grandma. I'm what?
Somebody outside of your family.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just a little kid. I'm learning. Well, okay, so let me get this straight. So people gather their families and friends around, and they get all serious when they're about to come out, and then they tell their families that they want to kiss somebody or they like somebody.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little personal?
Definitely.
Oh, so why are we having a whole church service about it?
Because of the heteropatriarchy, Seely.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Well, okay, let me get this gay. Get it? Okay, so because our world was built around the idea that there's only one way to love, and that tiny little love is crushing us all, we have to remind ourselves that love is bigger than any one thing.
That's completely correct.
Okay. Do you get it? Because I'm starting to get it. Well, okay, one more question.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have to come out?
You don't have to come out, but it's a really good idea. But if you do come out, then you should come out to the people that you trust and that you feel safe around.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe as I stick around, I'll figure out more.
Yeah, just stick through the sermon and you'll keep learning.
Okay, thanks, Kaylin.
Thank you, Celie.
This is the time in our service where we expand the caring love of our community. Today, we think of people who are not able to live and love freely in their families, in their countries, or in their workplace. We think of everyone who lives in fear, everyone for whom the body feels tired and weary, overly aware and wrought with the knowledge of global events. May we look to peoples who have lived in chronic fear for centuries for spiritual wisdom about how to live in chaos. We give our love to those untangling themselves from relationships that no longer serve them. We grieve for the loss of energy and time that chronic illness takes upon the body and mind, and our hearts go out to all who are struggling to make ends meet. We extend our gratitude to those who make caring for children their primary spiritual practice, and we join in wonder with all people who are bravely facing their final days. And as always, we rejoice over the exquisite beauty in this world, as small or life-changing as each piece of beauty might be. And now please comment in the comment section of the live chat your joy or sorrow. Remember, this moment of sharing happens online and remains public for all viewers joining us today. To join us further together in the beloved community, we will read out loud the names of those who posted joys and sorrows while I light the candles.
For the Howard Phillips family, who is missing their amazing dog, Jessie. I lost her to cancer last weekend. Ashley would like to light a candle for her friend, Alicia, who's home from 3 weeks in the hospital and still recovering. Kenna has a candle of comfort for her mom, who is now on hospice. Barbara would like to light a candle for those who are making important decisions in their lives. Jen has a joy of seeing Kaylin's beautiful smile again. Kaylin has a candle for Pepper, who lost her father to cancer. A candle of joy from Colette to experience Coming Out Day and its life-affirming message. And we light the remaining candles for all joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts.
And now please join me for a short embodied meditation on love. So put your feet flat on the floor, close your eyes, take a deep breath, knowing that each of us wants to be loved and that each of us struggles to feel worthy of love in the deepest sense. I invite you to take a deep breath and locate the very center of your body, deep within your chest, in between your front and back. And I'd like for you to imagine that there is a golden gem suspended inside of you. And when you breathe in, it glows. And when you breathe out, it dims. And now as you're breathing and feeling your heart space, I'd like you to draw to mind someone who you know, who is gay or lesbian, bisexual, queer, trans, fluid, questioning, or closeted. Imagine their smile. Imagine all their bravery and creativity, their kindness and their struggle, and just send them all the love. And then let the corners of your lips turn up and turn your thoughts to yourself. You can put your hand over your heart, give yourself a little pat, and say, I love you, to yourself in all your multitudes. After all, you've been through so much, taken a stand in so many ways. You're in the middle of a painful process right now. So as you breathe, just do a little deep listening with yourself. What do you hear? If you were to put on compassionate ears, what would you hear? Give yourself another I love you. If you're at home, you can squeeze your arms, even give yourself a hug, especially if you've been alone. Just give yourself all the love. And then just keep breathing and sensing that love deep inside of you, turning your thoughts to the person whom you thought of before. And we'll watch our third of 4 videos about people coming out, and then we will sing over you. Blessed be, and amen.
Hi, I'm Rose, and I live in the rural UK in Dartmoor National Park. I live here with my 3 children, my wife Polly, our 2 dogs, 3 ponies, and 11 chickens. We moved here 6 years ago when our twins were just 1, and we were concerned as an LGBTQIA+ family how we'd be received in a rural and traditional community, especially at our local church. I'm sure there's been a few raised eyebrows and hushed conversations, but by and large, our worries were unfounded and we've been welcomed with open arms. I'm really proud to be part of an LGBTQIA+ family because we are the embodiment of the phrase, love makes a family, and our existence in the world testifies to the validity of all LGBTQIA+ lives. To anyone thinking of coming out, I would say, unless it's patently unsafe to do so, which it sadly still is for so many people, then coming out allows you to live your truth, to follow your heart, to celebrate your life and all the unique talents and quirks that make you the wonderful person that you are. And it also helps to create a world where it's easier for other people to do the same. So that's it. With love, bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Hillary. Happy National Coming Out Day. I'm glad I came out because now I know what true acceptance, happiness, and love within myself actually means.
Hi, I'm Abby. Happy National Coming Out Day. I'm glad I came out because now I can be happy and who I'm meant to be all the time.
Happy Coming Out Day. I came out, and when I did, it was a scary thing for me because I believed that if I were to come out, to admit that I were gay and to truly embrace who I am, that I would be stuck with a life of being single, never being able to find love or lasting relationship. Because I came out, I now have a family that loves me, not only my natural family, but I have a loving husband. I have 2 beautiful daughters, and I have 3 loving grandchildren that embrace me and claim me as their grandfather. This is something I would have never believed that I could achieve as a gay man, but coming out changed that. It will change your life, and you're not alone.
Hi, happy National Coming Out Day. For me, coming out means having the strength to be my authentic self, whether I choose to put a label on who I identify as or not. I get to love who I want to love, and I don't have to be ashamed of it, and I don't have to hide it. And coming out gave me the confidence that I needed, and I couldn't be happier.
Take a moment to come back, take a nice deep breath, enjoy our reflective hymn, How Could Anyone?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Embarking on a spiritual journey is like getting into a very small boat and setting out on the ocean to search for unknown lands. With wholehearted practice comes inspiration, but sooner or later we encounter fear. For all we know, when we get to the horizon, we're going to drop off the edge of the world. Like all explorers, we are drawn to discover what's waiting for us out there, without knowing yet if we have enough courage to face it. Fear is a universal experience. Even the smallest insects feel it. We wade in the tidal pools and put our fingers near the soft, open bodies of sea anemones, and they close up. Everything spontaneously does that. It's not a terrible thing that we fear when we are faced with the unknown. It's part of being alive. Sometimes we all share. We react against the possibility of loneliness, of death, or not having anything to hold on to. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. Enjoy our final video in honor of coming out.
Hello, beloved SMUUCh. I hear that today is your coming out day service. I'm so glad to know that you are celebrating the queer community. As a queer UU minister, I know how important it is to celebrate sexuality and spirituality, that we all are full human beings with all of our facets and complexities. I'm glad to know that you are celebrating that today. I join you in that celebration. I want to encourage everyone to just be yourself, to come out into all the ways of who you are and all your identities. And I want to light a candle today for you. It takes strength and fire to truly be yourself. So this is in honor of that. There we go. Shine on, SMUUCh.
So coming out as a queer parent can really feel like a monumental event. Honestly, though, it isn't just one event. Coming out is a constant, everyday thing. Until someone said it to me, I hadn't really thought about it, but that ends up happening all the time. Just as an example, I recently wore a rainbow watch to work at a new job, and it changed things. Just those little moments when someone's eyebrows raise up at those little rainbows and they give you some kind of look, depending on who they are. But the liberating part is getting to be myself. It's freeing not to hide my queerness. It squashes my soul to hide. That's the part that I end up having to learn over and over again. My soul is divine, just like yours. And expressing our souls for the love that we have to give is a huge part of why we're here. Loving each other is divine. My love doesn't have a gender, nor does my soul. I shouldn't have to come out of anything in order to express that. But the reality is that we grow up learning from others that they think we need to hide who they are. It's a form of oppression, and it's worse for those who face other forms of oppression. Joy is an act of resistance. My joy is queer joy. My spirit is queer spirit. I know that in order to thrive, I need to feel my joy. I want my child to grow up with the joy and liberation that comes from celebrating who we are and living in our authentic truth. I know my child thrives when she grows up with models for joy, love, and liberation, and not from seeing her parents hide from fear. Coming out is also an act of privilege. There are people who can't afford to be out or for whom it would be unsafe. It's part of my journey to constantly learn how to better leverage my privilege to help others to be free. I believe that we're here to learn to free our souls, and that's what coming out means to me. It's an act of revolution, of rebellion, made up of tiny little rainbows. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Beth Murphy. I'm 33 years old. I live in Austin, Texas. I am trans, masc, non-binary. My pronouns are they, he. And I am so thrilled that you guys gave me y'all. Still working on that. I grew up saying that, that y'all gave me the opportunity to share a little bit. I just want you to know that I believe in joy as resistance. I believe in your joy. I believe in telling you how beautiful, how loved you are, how important you are, how much I want you to stay here with us, because it gets incredibly so much freer. I am at my apartment right now where I live part-time with my children that I co-parent with my ex-husband, because I was married for 9 years before coming out into my truth, into my light, knowing who I am meant to be and what my passion and desire are. And I just want that for you, and I believe that is for you. I believe abundance is for you. And I know this sounds potentially cheesy and potentially unattainable, but it takes time, and it takes rebirth. I got this the other day. I felt incredibly dysphoric, and I needed the transformation, and I needed the cut, and I needed the rebirth. And as much as I felt nervous and scared going and telling them my pronouns, they have their own safe space, and I am trying to create that safe space. And if this is your moment of a safe space, take this pocket in this moment and hold on to it and keep it, because I'm here, and I'm in the world, and I am rooting for you. So leave today knowing that you are incredible and amazing, and I love you.
Happy Coming Out Day. I'm glad I came out because I want the people who are important to me to know and appreciate how I see the world and how I navigate through life. Coming out isn't necessarily easy, but it does give the people who are important to you an opportunity to know the real you.
We believe that love is huge, that love is wide, that love is deep and abiding and unknowable. And so for 3 years, this church has held an annual Coming Out Day service in honor of the beautiful diversity and endlessness that is human love. I want to tell you what this service entails because I think it might remind you that with our love, we have the potential to make powerful change. That is, if we are open to it, if we are willing to bind ourselves up with other people in the tethers of trust and community. So here's what we do. Once a year, the church gathers to do a powerful ritual where we, as a body of people, position ourselves to bless those who the world otherwise does not often bless. I stand at the front and I invite all the people from the queer community forward, asking first for gay people to come forward, then people who identify as lesbian, bi, fluid, trans, etc., questioning, people who might just not be the straightest arrow in the quiver, closeted people. And so, slowly, people arise and come forward. And slowly, the rest of the congregation gathers around us and puts their hands on our shoulders, and they sing these words over us. How could anyone ever tell you that you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. There are a lot of tears. Now, people come who are not part of our church to be blessed in a sanctuary as they have never been blessed before. For part of the reason that we do it in the Sunday service is because, unfortunately, church has been one of the most damaging places for the queer community. There aren't many churches where you can go and hold your husband's hand in the pews. There aren't many youth groups where trans kids can wear what they want. And even in this church, there are people who haven't or can't come out, and that's okay too. Like, there is a parent who came to me knowing their child was queer, but we just let people identify themselves. And in the end, we Unitarian Universalists believe that love is huge, that love is wide, that love is deep and abiding and unknowable, and thus we bow to those who have fought for their love, who have fought to be true to themselves, who are wherever they are on their life's journey, who may be out and proud, who may be closeted, who may be who they are despite the ridicule and persecution that they have been subjected to. And what we do is we strive to create a church where the queer community is celebrated. Yes, the church has too often cut people out, like little fabulous shaped holes in the fabrics of their church communities. And amazingly, the church has used the Bible to abuse, reading into its stories anything that proves that marriage is in between a man and a woman, using this sacred book to limit love. And so in the spirit of healing the wound between church and homophobia, I want to tell you a story from the Bible about coming out. It is the story of Esther, Queen of Persia. Yes, queen. Because of her title as queen, she held huge power, but that's not all she held. For in her heart, she also held a secret about who she really was, and she lied in order to live that good life, surrounded by satins, perfumes, flowers, attendants, but most importantly, safety. But even so, while she lied to her husband and her country about who she was, she still stole away to speak frequently with her family, who all had to wear sackcloths and live in the dirt outside the city's limits because they were, like Esther, Jewish. And so Esther had two lives, which she kept separate, which must have been exhausting. To live in two worlds, navigating expectations between cultures and systems of power, living with secrets and keeping yourself alive in spaces that are dangerous, navigating the inhospitability of conflict, ostracism, ridicule, loss of safety, or even death. For as we have seen in the recent political news, there is still a real threat to those who don't look or move in certain ways. The consequences for being different could be devastating. And in Esther's time, hatred against the other was alive and well, genocide and ethnic cleansing proving to be one of humanity's most persevering downfalls. For one day, when Esther went out to see her family, her father told her that the Jews had been identified as, quote unquote, having customs that were different from those of all other people, and they were seen to not obey the king's laws. And because of this, a plan had been hatched to destroy the Jewish population. Someone had even said that they would pay the king to kill them because that's how much Jews were hated. Now, the king was Esther's husband, so you can imagine that for Esther, this presented quite the predicament, quite the wrenching of the heart. For here she was, her very family begging her to use her power to save the Jews, but her power depending on her silence. We know she struggled with this, toyed with walking away back into her castle, because from his sackcloth, the next thing her father says is, "Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your family will perish." He goes on to say, "And who knows, you may have come to your royal position for such a time as this." And so this is why I keep scheduling and hosting this annual coming out service. Because I know the fear that people carry with them before they come out as who they really are. I know that wrenching of the heart, the deep and treacherous personal journey, weighing of consequences, the long breaking away from the ways we've compensated, the letting go of how we've performed, and all the while having to wonder if we would still be loved. I mean, the vulnerability of coming out as anything, as Jewish, as girly, as sensitive, as a conscientious objector, as addicted, as anything dissenting from the social pressures, coming out is profound. But truly, fear is just a natural consequence of moving closer to the truth. And in the end, the moral of the story with Esther is that when we are brave and we are true to ourselves, we don't just liberate ourselves, we liberate everyone around us. For in her admittance, she did save all of her people, because when her husband found out, when she finally told him, he protected the Jews and stopped the destruction. Her simple allegiance to herself meant that she was a heroine to all. She used her position for good. For when we are brave and do come out about what we know to be true, even if the thought of this truth causes us to shudder, we are doing it for others as well. And now I'll bring you back to this sanctuary, where people who have been ostracized from church have been blessed in our coming out day service. And let me just tell you about a moment that stands out to me in my memory. I was up here saying words to call people up. I would say, "Come up if you identify as gay." And couples of elderly men came up. I would say, "Come up if you identify as lesbian." And women came up who came out in the 70s. I would say bi, and young people in straight marriages came up. Trans teenagers, people's parents, people feeling more and more safe to join this ever-growing crowd. And when I got to saying the word closeted, I saw that young child, the one whose parents had spoken to me. I could see them sitting with their parent, and I saw them look up at me and make a choice. And then I got to watch the parent's face as their child came out to them and to themselves. As the parent watched their child walk into a loving crowd of 60 queer people to be blessed and sung over as the sacred keepers of a love big enough for us too. And then the parent came and found their child, and they sang and held each other. And I wish that everyone's coming out could be like this. And it's not lost on me that all the older folks didn't go through what they went through just for themselves. I wish that everyone could know that love is huge, so much bigger than we could ever imagine, that love is wide, stretching farther than our eyes can see, that love is deep and abiding and unknowable, and that when we show up for love by trusting those who love us, when we show up for love by being vulnerable, when we come out of our shells and be our beautiful, complex selves, we are honoring what is most sacred. We are shedding our fear and moving closer to the truth. And the deepest, abiding truth is and always will be love. Blessed be, and amen.
The work of the church depends on us. In the context of a global and national strife, what does it mean to participate in the work of the church? What does the work of the church look like in times of great callings? We invite you to give generously to support the ongoing work of the church. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values.
You with a sad eye, don't be discouraged, oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me your smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you're taking all that you can bear. Just call me up, because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please join us in the closing hymn, number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more home somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more home somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
So let's just take a quick inventory if your intention at coming out and opening yourself during this hour did bring you more peace, more joy, more hope, and more love. So this week, remember that intention to come out wherever you are, and go in peace.